Now, I am of the belief that we are at the forefront, the upper echelon of the lifespan and the popularity of webtoons. I feel like webtoons are as popular as they've ever been before right now, and it's very apparent with these new anime series being adapted from webtoons. Tower of God and God of High School, I think that's what they're called. I didn't really grow up on those webtoons, when I started reading webtoons, but the first webtoon series that I fell in love with, that I feel like is massively underrated, and it is a travesty that we haven't acknowledged it or nobody even talks about it. In regular life, when you talk to people, talking about anime is about a 50-50, maybe a 60-40 now these days. Talking about manga is about a 70-30, 60-40. And then you have talking about webtoon, which is damn near a 95-5. You don't really find anybody that really reads webtoons or like actually knows good webtoons besides like the most popular ones, obviously, like Unordinary, which I think if you're going to animate any webtoon, it needs to be Unordinary. That's probably the next up. The idea, the structure, you need to put a whole team behind Unordinary. I don't know how much you need to buy that out. Not even buy it out, but to put a team behind it to be able to animate it into a little 12 episode first season. You know what I mean? That would be one of the biggest W's for everybody. Like, if you have read Unordinary, you know exactly what I'm talking about, especially where we are right now in the point of Unordinary. It's definitely right now, season one could happen as far as anime goes. But I say all that to say, Girls of Wild High is a webtoon that I read that I feel like isn't talked about enough, especially in the webtoon community. It just feel like it was good, it was fantastic, and we just dropped it. We dropped the ball, it wasn't as hyped up, and of course, it ended. The ending was kind of wishy washy, depends how you see it, but that show is amazing. There's so much about it. It is basically it's kind of a stereotype, when we're talking about very good things as far as like the anime community. Because come on, face it, everything that prospers in anime always have action and romance. Those are the two quintessential things. Those are the two things that solidify a show. And once it has romance and it has action, and you throw like isekai in there, it's going to be a hit. That's just always been the recipes for success. Action and romance together. You don't really, they kind of go hand in hand. You really don't have a lot of shows where there's a lot of action without a lot of romance, or not even necessarily a lot of romance, but just a lot of ships and the community and just romance. Like My Hero, they do little things here and there to kind of show like, oh, it's possible, Uraraka blushing and things like that. But Girls of Wild High is one of my favorite webtoons of all time. It needs to get animated. It needs to be put at the forefront. You need to push it like you guys are pushing what's his name, Drew McIntyre in WWE. We need to revive this series for what it is. I'm telling you, if you haven't read it yet, go read Girls of Wild High. And yeah, that's really all I wanted to talk about today. Girls of Wild High is a good webtoon, and when I talk to people who read webtoons, they don't know what it is, but you need to go watch it.